Hi, everybody. My name is Sherry. I'm a solution architect at Elastic. Been with the company for a long time, so this is going to be going on to my 6th year. So let's get started today. I just want to go through a really quick intro of what is Elastic, what solutions we provide, what use cases that we're good for, and I will take you through a brief exercise of setting up a cluster, get some data ingested, and we'll take a look at the dashboard. Okay, so here we go. We're going to try to go through this in an hour. So, perfect. Before I go anywhere, I just want to give you like a little bit of ideas, a few things that's coming up. So we have a few on-demand training classes for things like observability, APM, and then just Elasticsearch getting started. We do have a Get Started with Kibana session coming up is September 24th. And the APM workshop coming up is September 30th. And our virtual ElasticCon is coming up in October 13 to 15. Now, if you have ever attended the ElasticCon event in San Francisco or in, I think it's San Jose or Santa Clara, the last couple, it's a pretty fun event, lots of speakers, lots of use cases and people sharing their experience. All right, get this out of the way. So search is just about everywhere. You could be searching for restaurants on Yelp. You could be searching for a ride on Uber. You could search is omnipresent. It's everywhere. It's for things like looking for information, doing business analytics, analyzing trends, locating stuff, doing sentiment analysis, detect anomalies. Search is everywhere. And if you're searching for things like grocery, which I don't know about you, the COVID-19 has turned me into a huge fan of Instacart, who's also a Elastic customer. You're searching for videos, you're searching for love on Tinder, you're searching for flights, you're searching for cyber threads. They're all using Elasticsearch, Elastic solutions in the back end. So search is important. Elastic is a search company, and search is it is an encompassing experience, whether you're searching for whatever you're searching for, you want to be able to get millisecond response time. Why not have the same thing at work? Why can't you have the same search experience at work, whether you're looking for error code in your logs, or whether you're looking for a piece of relevant document in the wiki? You should have the same experience as you're looking for a product on Etsy or searching for a relevant document on wiki. Now, we believe in three pillars that makes up a great search, which is speed, getting your results back in millisecond time. We believe in relevance, so getting you the most relevant results back to you. And finally, we believe in scale, regardless of how much data you're searching through, and be able to search through them, return them in a reasonable time, but actually quickly, and be able to return all of the relevant results you're looking for. And that's what makes us unique. We offer 3 solutions. One of them, obviously, is search, and we are also a long-time solution player in the observability space. I think a lot of you probably has heard of the ALK stack. That's where for a long time, we're a big player within that observability space. And then also, we are also offer a Elastic security solution, which is mostly for threat hunting kind of use case as well. And at the heart of our stack is Elasticsearch, which is our analytic data store, as well as search engine. And Kibana is our visualization tool, which will allow you to visualize your data, explore your data, and extract meaning out of your data. Until you get your data into the data store, we use Beats and Logstash. Now, you could deploy Elastic and the Elastic solutions on Elastic Cloud. We run on 3 public clouds, AWS, GCP, as well as Azure. Now, we also run on Tencent and Alibaba as well, but those are probably not relevant for this audience. And also that we do offer Elastic Cloud on Kubernetes as well. We'll provide an orchestration layer if you're using Kubernetes, and also that there is Elastic Cloud Enterprise, which comes with a orchestration layer. Now, I just want to make sure that distinguish ourselves from Amazon Elasticsearch Service. We're not Amazon Elasticsearch Service. Amazon Elasticsearch Service is a fork of Elasticsearch open source code. We have kind of deviated from the source code base. They're offering almost a different solution as we are. And also that Open Distro is not an Elasticsearch product. It pretty much, again, is a, I would say, an emulator of our products and services. Now let's talk a little bit about Elastic Observability. So within the Elastic Observability, we offer logs, metrics, APM, and uptime. So let's take a look at that, each one of them. So logs obviously is your syslog, app log coming from your containers, from your infrastructure, from your VMs, anywhere. Metrics, same thing, infrastructure metrics, Kubernetes metric, container metric, orchestration metric. APM, Elastic offers an open source APM solution. We accommodate various different languages, things like Java, Node.js, Python, Go, .NET, Ruby. Most of these languages are auto-instrumented, require no code changes. For some of the languages, due to the language limitation, for example, Python or Node.js, you might actually need to embed the Elastic APM library, but that's pretty much it, and the rest of it should be auto-instrumented. And we also offer uptime and synthetic testing, so you can actually check whether your site, your service, your endpoints are up and running and is returning the right response code and is functioning as they should. And the modern day architectures are complex. So you will have application, virtual machines, containers, orchestration layer, infrastructure, database, middleware. And with each one of these, there is a set of metrics and a set of data you need to monitor to ensure each components are working correctly. So with that, typically we see that people will have what we call the best of breed approach. So for logging, they will have one solution. For infrastructure monitoring, they will have another. And for the application performance monitoring, you'll have another set of tools. And finally, for the uptime tools that you have, different sets of tools. Now you end up with a lot of these dashboards, and you have to correlate events from one tool to another. It really just bogs down on how long it takes you to get to the root cause analysis and resolve your issue. With the Elastic approach, we have a single common data store using what we call the Elastic Common Schema. So for wherever that data is coming from and wherever what type of data is coming from, whether it's logs data, metric data, uptime data, or application monitoring data, you're using the same common schema. And also all of the data gets to store into a single data store, which is called the Elasticsearch. So you'll be able to correlate a error code easily with your log data, or if you're experiencing slow response time from your from your application monitoring, so you could go from your service to the logging, to the log event or trace logs very easily. And also same thing, go from your logs to your metric data, go from your logs to your uptime data. Just really reduce mean time to resolution. And again, just unify visibility across all your ecosystem, whether you're running on containers, on Kubernetes, or bare metal, or VM, we are there to help. And as you can see, that this is actually a waffle map from a Kubernetes deployment. You can see that from each one of the containers, I could go to either to look at the logs, look at the metrics, look at the APM traces, and also look at the uptime. Again, this is a dashboard based on various different monitoring pillars that we offer: logs, metrics, and APM. And also that we provide an anomaly detection across all of your data sets, including your APM, uptime, logs, as well as metric. Because all of the data are of a single format, we could run machine learning and anomaly detection job over time series data very easily, because we don't have to convert that data from one format to another and do the cleansing transformation. It is all there which is ready to go out of the box for you. And also that because all of the data is in a common format, it makes it very easy to alert from wherever you are, or from your application monitoring if you're experiencing slow response time, or from your logs if you're seeing abnormal amount of log messages coming through, or from your uptime, just a service is not returning within the guaranteed SLA. Again, here is the Elastic's uptime monitoring of monitoring various services you have, and to see whether they are returning the correct response code and within the acceptable SLA. And also that for the integration points, we have a lot of out-of-the-box integration points, and I'll show you that in a little bit. And finally, this is the log view. So you can actually stream your logs from various different sources into a single location. It's like a glorified tail-F for all of your logs, wherever they're coming from, whatever host they're coming from, and you can look at them all in a chronological order, all at the same place. And the best part about that is if you look on the top, there actually is a search bar on top using the Elasticsearch full text search capability. So if you don't really know what you're looking for, just type it on top and it's ready to go. Again, this is infrastructure monitoring. And let's talk a little bit about APM. So application performance monitoring is one of the pillars of observability. And if you are, it is very helpful when you want to know whether your application is healthy, is serving your customer, or if you're actually having an issue, be able to notify and alert yourself before your customers are impacted. At this point, we support, I think I went over this briefly, just Java, Go, .NET, JavaScript, RUM, Python, Ruby, and Node.js. And we are also open tracing compliant, and we also support open telemetry. And we also have a distributed tracing. So this is what a end-to-end distributed tracing looks like. And also that if you are a Kubernetes user, most likely you have heard of Jaeger. We do have an integration point with Jaeger as well. And we also offered a service map that actually gives you kind of idea of how your dependent services are doing and whether they're healthy. You can see that. You can see things like error per minute, CPU usage, memory usage, and if it is behaving normally, and you will see the anomaly detection as part of that service map. So it will give you like a point in time how each one of your services depends on other services and how healthy they are. So let's talk a little bit about Elastic Enterprise Search. So Elastic Enterprise Search gives you the capability to search anywhere. So, search needs to be speedy, the results need to be relevant, and you want to be able to grow your search data source and number of documents you can search for. You want to have a out-of-the-box experience and have a simple setup. Elastic Enterprise Search is for you. So we offer 3 different solutions in this space. Workspace search, which is workplace search, which is for things like G Drive, Salesforce, Jira, Confluence, and and SharePoint. Now, if we are not one of the if we don't offer it out of the box, you could definitely implement your own. There's sets of API you can implement on your own. We also offer Elastic App Search. Now, Elasticsearch powers about 90% of the search box on the internet, according to a Forbes article I just read recently. So the Elastic App Search just gives you a super easy way to embed a search box within your application. And it also includes things like search analytics out of the box, like click-through, like queries that did not have a lot of results returning to their user, or queries that did not have anybody clicking on any of the results returning to the user. So you could actually take those problematic queries and tune them accordingly. And a lot of times you could use the click-through information to improve your search relevance so that your user are getting more relevant results. And Elasticsearch actually provides a crawler. So again, has a lot of that rich analytics customization capability that comes out of the box for you. And also it comes with a web crawler. So again, out of the box search, so you could simplify setup. And so it is powered by Elasticsearch on the back end. So it just encapsulates Elasticsearch into a box. So you have a nice, ready to deploy out of the box experience. It's tunable, customizable, and you can offer things like type ahead and typo tolerance right out of the box. Again, what is App Search? App search is just the search box you want to embed in your app. It provides things like typo tolerance, relevance tuning, boosting, analytics, and as well as a set of search UI library, so you can embed that into your app very easily. Again, there is the top query with no results, top query with clicks, top query without clicks. So a lot of these just help you to improve your search experience for your customers. And Elastic Workplace Search is more for a enterprise. So you'll be able to search through things like Jira, Salesforce, G Drive, for your workplace. Now, if you have the same experience as me, your wiki search capability or your Confluence wiki is not great. So since we implemented Elastic Workplace Search at our work, where I work, the experience has been much better. And also, interestingly enough, that I'm a huge fan of Google, but searching through Google Drive is just really rough. So we actually implemented an Elastic Workplace Search here at Elastic. So it's been pretty good. Search life has gotten better. Search experience has definitely gotten better. So again, these are some of the out-of-the-box connectors. Now, if you do have a data source that you would like to implement Workplace Search that is not a out-of-the-box connector, there is a set of API that enable you to create your own connector, so you'd be able to go through the data source and be able to provide a great search experience to your user. Now, the site search essentially is the out-of-the-box search with a web crawler. So all we need is a domain, and then the crawler will go out and pull in all the relevant information, including things like, the cool thing about site search is, again, it includes things like advanced analytics and behavior insights, so you can actually tune search and make them more relevant for your users. Just a little bit more, and let's talk about Elastic Security. So the Elastic Security offers two big features or two big products. One is Endpoint EDP, and the other one is SIEM. I wouldn't say it's a SIEM as much as a threat hunting tool. So the point is to be able to protect while you observe. So most likely, observability is the bulk of our use cases, and then security is our second largest use case. You can see that if you are collecting your observability data already, so you already have an endpoint that's launched onto your machine, so you could collect that data and start doing threat hunting. And with the endpoint security, you're protecting your PCs, your Macs, or your Linux box to detect any intrusion and be able to respond to that, and be able to isolate those hosts that actually are experiencing issues. And again, this is the Elastic SIEM, so it offers a lot of capability of looking at host data, your network data, and also you can specify your own detection rules, and then it helps you to do investigation and threat hunting as well. And another thing I do want to mention is that Elastic has a really cool GIS geolocated spatial capability. We have a very robust geo development team, and we provide a lot of the out-of-the-box geo capability if that is your use case. Okay, extra. So one thing we're going to do today is that we're going to bring up a Elastic cluster in Elastic Cloud. So that way we don't have to use your machine. So we're just going to launch right into it. So you could deploy it in Azure, AWS, or in GCP, wherever you want. So, so I'm just going to go ahead and launch into it. Now, if I already put the GitHub repo link in the chat. So if you could take a look, you'll be able to see it there. Okay, let's chat. Here we go. Okay. So let me grab the link here. I'm just going to walk through setting up the Elastic Cloud instance, and then we're going to go ahead and ingest some data into it. So before you launch into the labs for Elastic Cloud, go ahead and go to the data directory, and there's a sets of Nginx logs. Go ahead and get those downloaded first. And that's about 22 megabytes. Once you're there, go ahead and launch into lab 1, and we'll walk through this. So if you let me know if you have any issues. So I'm going to go ahead and fire this up. Go grab this and put this into the next tab. I'm an internal employee, so I'm just going to go ahead and log in myself for now. But for you're going to go through a different sets of instructions. Actually, I'll walk through this. Hold on one sec. Let me grab my, one sec, I'll switch over to a different browser so it doesn't automatically log me in and let me lose my, oh, here we go. Let's share this. Share screen. Let's share this. It's my Firefox login. Okay, so can everybody see my screen? Put that in there. Okay, perfect. Now, go ahead and click on sign up here. This does not need to be a valid email address. Give it a password and go ahead and go create an account. Did I lose everybody? Did everybody get there? Would you give me a ++ once you're already done create your account? Oops, hold on. I gotta go log into my account. Okay. Let's do this. Let me create a second. Create a different one. Right. Create another account. All right, did everybody was able to create an account? Okay, all right. So give me 1 second. Let me switch back out to go to my other screen so I can just keep going. That's very helpful. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my account here. It's not logging me in.
I'm just gonna mention I'm having trouble actually cutting and pasting links out of the chat. Is anyone else having that trouble? No? I just want to check and make sure it's okay.
I'm having an issue logging in. Okay, what issues are you having?
Here we go. Okay, yep, got it. Thanks.
Got it? All right, perfect. And I can't log into Elastic Cloud. This is just sort of annoying. That's how it goes. All right, wait, hold on. Why is this not? Here we go.
Catherine, are you still having an issue logging in?
Yeah, I'm still trying to log in.
Okay.
So it just keep on spinning and then it error out.
Yeah, that's really odd. Huh. What's interesting enough, I was able to log into the other instance I have, I think, maybe. Let's see if I can log in here.
Yeah, apparently there's an incident, and the cloud team is discussing it right now.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you, Emily.
I know, that's a real bummer. Okay, so that's fine.
I'm so sorry.
No problem at all. So here's what we're gonna do. So instead of doing that, let's go ahead and move on to our second step. So go ahead and download the Nginx sample logs for me. And then once you download that, go ahead and follow the instructions. Sorry, I did not make it very clear. So go ahead and skip out lab 1. Go ahead and move on to lab 2. And in this lab, actually, all we're going to do is be able to grab the Elastic agent, and we're going to download the sample log. And I am not showing you that. That's really funny. I'm so confused with all the million tabs there. Okay, so try that again. So in lab 2, you can see that there is a download Nginx sample log and download Elastic agent. Let's go ahead and move on to the steps. So if you have a Mac, go ahead and use the Mac instructions. If you have, well, that's really helpful. It looks like I boo-booed on my markup languages, the markups here. So go ahead and go to the download page for the Elastic agent. So let me go ahead and just paste that into chat if you're using the Windows instructions there. Still. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think it's working now. Yay! Okay. Perfect. Go ahead and get this downloaded, and I think we're ready to rock after that. Oh, it's working for me now. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Okay. By the way, you can follow along. Let me go ahead and just paste the workshop link into this. So you can actually just go ahead and follow along if you are a little lost there. Okay, so can everybody be able to download the Nginx logs and Elastic agent?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Now, if you can, let's go ahead and switch back to Elastic Cloud. Is everybody able to sign in at this point?
Yes, I can sign in.
Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and create a new deployment for us. So go ahead and just click on create deployment. You might look slightly different than mine. So no worries. We're going to be using the Elastic Observability today. And whoa, what's going on here? Let's create our deployment here today. Hold on. Create deployment. We're going to go with observability. And click on the provider here, and you could choose between GCP, Azure, and AWS. Oh, people still having an issue logging in? Oh no, okay. All right, everybody logged in? So I'm gonna go ahead and choose GCP because I'm a GCP fangirl. And I'm going to go ahead and choose a region. So wherever you're closer to you, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and choose Oregon. And the version default to 7.9.1. But you can see that you have like tons of other versions to choose from. But don't choose it. Just choose the latest version. That's what you wanted. And
is the version here refers to Elastic version, or what version?
Yes. This is the Elastic Stack version. So all of the Elastic Stack follows a single version. So Elasticsearch, Kibana, Beats, all of them are done the 7.9.1. So we're just going to go ahead and download 7.9.1, unless you already have your own stack. So you might want to download the version that matches your Elastic agent. Good. All right. So is everybody able to follow that? Okay, once you finish that up, just go ahead and click on create deployment. Good. All right. All right, now it's going to ask you to download a password. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my password and put it somewhere so I don't forget. And you could also download it. You could go ahead and download that. Okay, is everybody able to follow along?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So once you get there, you can see that your Elasticsearch, Kibana, all of that good stuff is getting kicked off. So we're going to go ahead and just wait for it to come up. Okay. Okay, so let's wait for it to come up. It's coming pretty close to coming up. While that is coming up, let's make sure that we got finish up our working on our agent here. So go ahead and grab the Nginx log. If you haven't gotten a chance, go ahead and extract your Elastic agent out if you do not have a chance yet. So that way we could all be ready to go. Once our instance come up, it will take about 2 or 3 minutes for it to come up. So it looks like I am almost there. Perfect. Okay, so what I could do is go to your Kibana. You could copy the endpoint and then launch it from a web browser. But since I'm logged in onto my Elastic Cloud instance, I could just go ahead and click on launch. And that will automatically bring me into the Kibana instance. Is everybody able to follow that? So go ahead and go to right next to Kibana. There it says launch. And that will take you into your Elasticsearch instance with the Kibana front end. So far, so good?
I'm still waiting for the deployment to be created.
Okay, I'll just wait a bit.
Wait, I missed the step. Do you log in with Elasticsearch or log in with Elastic Cloud? I got these two options.
So you could log in either way. So I cheated. I just basically, they're on the Kibana, it says launch. So I just used the SSO that's available to me and I logged in. Now I could copy the endpoint. So I'm going to go ahead and put the endpoint here.
Are you, I think she might be asking about a different screen. I think you can just use login with Elastic Cloud.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
All right, thank you.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. You can actually do Elastic. If you choose to use the copy the endpoint, you could just do Elastic and then the password you copied down. that screen that popped up earlier that tells you where you are. Okay. Give me a plus when you're ready to go on to the next step.
When you clicked on Launch Kibana, did you get an option to try our sample data or explore on my own?
Yes, you did. You could explore on your own or try our sample data. So if you ever want to figure out how to do something in Kibana, so this is what I would suggest. Oops, hold on. If you miss the sample data screen, you can always do, like in your homepage, there's a load sample data. So you can always try this. There is the e-commerce data, there's a sample flight data, and there's a sample weblog. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do the sample weblog. This is not, just gonna do it as a demo purpose. You could just do sample weblog, which is actually pretty cool. Give it a second. Now, well, when it's done loading, it will tell you view data. You could go to the dashboard, you could go to the map, you could go to Canvas, you could go to log, you could graph in ML. So let's take a look at the dashboard. And I will show you some of the sample visualization it has built. If you're ever curious how to ever build these these visualizations, what you could do is click on edit, and then you will see these gearboxes will show up right next to your to the visualization. So I'm get out of this, I'll show you the start changes. So you don't see the gearbox there. So if I click on edit, you can see the gearbox there. So you could click on the gearbox and you could either clone it, edit it, or you could delete it from the dashboard. So typically if you want to figure out how to create a visualization, you could click on edit visualization, and it will show you how it was created. Like this one is using a cardinality aggregation over IP address, and it's group by response keyword, and so forth. So okay, let me get out of here. If I don't want to save, I'm just going to hit the back button. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to cancel out of this because I don't want to touch anything. The start changes. Okay. So is everybody logged into their Kibana instance and ready to go?
Are all these visualization types available on, like, so my company hosts Kibana, we host it ourselves, and I have struggled to make visualizations. Are these standard ones available, or are these like extra visualization types?
So these are all available. So if you ever want to know, like I said, that if you want to know how to create these, just click on them. For example, this one is a standard bar chart. So you can click on that. Where is add a visualization? So this one's a good example. So this one, so this one is a bar graph, and you can see the data, the axis, what the axis is doing, what the y-axis is doing, and then you could do advanced, and then there's like the dot count. So these are one way of creating it. Now, if you have trouble creating these, this is what I would suggest. It's called the lens, which is really cool. So go ahead and go to visualize, click on create visualization, go to lens. What you could do is, like, for example, I'm gonna monitor the let's see where I'm monitoring here. Number of records. So I'm going to go ahead and drag that in. There's how many documents I'm getting per period of time. And I want to group these by, let's say, by IP address. I'm just going to drag that in. So now they're grouping them by IP address. And then you could choose something like that.
Oh, wait, I missed it because I was trying to follow. So you did it by dragging what you wanted on the x-axis on the x-axis and what on the y-axis, and you just drag that on the y-axis, and then it produced this chart?
You just drag whatever you want to see onto this chart.
Ah, okay.
So whatever you're interested in. So for example, I want to drag request keyword, because I don't even think that's, whoops, it doesn't let me do request keyword. Oh, unless that's, oh, response keyword has that. It doesn't let me. So I actually had the number of counts per histogram, I guess, per time period, and then I broke it down by IP address at a given time. So these are my IP address broken down. And one thing I would like to do is, I said machine OS keyword. So there's my OS keyword. It's going to further break it down by the OS keyword. So these are, so lints give you a kind of drag and drop, but you could also change the chart type. So if this is like a little hard to see, we could do like that. See what that looks like. I have no idea what that looks like. Oh, that's horrible. All right, let's try this. How's that? That's interesting. I'll try that. Okay. Now, if any of these is not what you wanted, you could just do things like, I don't want to count a record. That's silly. Let's just go ahead and drop that. And then, you know, I don't want to break down by IP. That's silly. I'm just going to go ahead and drop that. And there we are. So I end up with OS keyword, I guess. That's silly too, because I think I have Mac. That's all I have. So it's the same. So I could go ahead and just drag in, I don't know, response keyword like that. Why is this not letting me drag in response keyword? Ugh. Oh, anyway. There. All right, there. Yeah, so whatever fields you're interested in, you could just go ahead and drag those in. So typically you don't have to think too hard of axis and y-axis. Typically it's time series data. So on the bottom, typically you will have the time as the x-axis, and on the vertical you have the y-axis.
All right, thank you. That's super helpful.
Hey, no problem. All right, let's go back to our task at hand. All right, so we got our Kibana instance up and running. Does everybody have their agent downloaded? Perfect. Now, let's go back to where we are. Oops, I lost it. Okay, so click on this like bar, and then on the bottom, you will see Ingest Manager. Go ahead and click on the Ingest Manager. It's going to complain for me because I was playing around with the lens. It says you did not save your work, which was fine. I know I did not. Okay, so now, okay. All right, once you get to the Ingest Manager, let's go ahead and click on integrations. Currently, the integrations, there's about like 37 integrations here. You can see there's Apache Logs, AWS, Barracuda, Cisco, Blue Code if you're doing like a security use case, endpoint security, HA proxy, IIS if you're Windows Shop, Kafka, MongoDB, MySQL, Kubernetes is a good one, NetFlow. So we're going to go with Nginx. So in my instruction, I said you could just start typing Nginx here, but here. So Nginx, you can start searching for it. Nginx comes up. Go ahead and click on Nginx for me, please. Okay. It's a little bit slow for me today just because I am on Zoom and I'm also doing all sorts of things here. So go ahead and do @Nginx. And did everybody get there? Or did I lose everybody?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and click on this. So I am adding an Nginx log. So I just downloaded the Nginx log, so most likely it's not at the default location. So I need to change the default config. So I clicked on the default config here, and you can see that there's integration setting. You could change the integration name. So I'm going to change this to Nginx Sherry 1. And there's some advanced options you could have, like a different namespaces. So in Kibana, you could actually specify different namespaces. So for example, you could have your business team have their own Kibana spaces. Your support team could have their own spaces. Your marketing team could have their own spaces. So each space just means that that's my sets of dashboards. Nobody else should have access to those. So if you need to specify that, you can specify that here, but we don't need to. It's just a sample. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the down arrow because my Nginx log is not at the default location. So you can see here Nginx access log and the default locations var log Nginx access log. So now if you're running Nginx on a Linux machine and you're doing init, so this will be where it goes by default. Unfortunately for me, that's not where mine goes. So I'm going to go ahead and X that out, and I am going to go over here to add my log location here. So my log location is here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in right here. So you probably will have a different location where you're save your Nginx logs to. But just remember, give it the location. You do not need to specify Nginx log. Just call it wildcard.log as oops. So any log file that starts with whatever ends with .log will be picked up from that particular directory. Does that make sense? Once you're done, you can go ahead and click on this Save Integration. Is everybody able to follow that?
How about the error logs? Do you need to change that as well?
Nope. Yeah, unless you have an Nginx error log available. If you do, then you could go ahead and change it. If you don't, then don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do Save Integration. Okie dokie. So you can see that here is my Nginx integration, and also that you have a system integration. So the Elastic agent comes by default a metric collector as well. So it's going to start collecting metric about your system as soon as this is up and running. So you can see that there is, you can also delete the integration if that's not something you wanted to do. Okay, so once you got there, go ahead and click on Fleet for me. Once you get to Fleet, go ahead and do Create User and Enable Fleet. So at this point, you're going to have what we call a Elastic Agent user is going to generate an API key. So you could use that key to identify the integration and identify the agent that you will be using. So go ahead and create a user and enable Fleet. Okay, so once that's ready to go ahead and click on Add Agent. Is everybody able to follow that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, it says, I'm configuring agent, system, and Nginx. We're going to skip step 1 and step 2 because we already did that. So now, go to step 3. It says enroll and start Elastic Agent. So for the Windows instructions are here, Linux instructions are here, and Mac instructions on the bottom. There is a copy clipboard icon on the upper right hand corner for each one of the boxes. Go ahead and click that for me. And go ahead and paste that into a notepad somewhere, just because there's a couple commands, there could be 2 or 3 commands there. For some reason, if you just copy and paste, both commands get pasted. So just paste it into a notepad and just run them one at a time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my fired up. So go ahead to wherever you downloaded the agent. Go ahead and fire up the agent that you will be using and give it a few minutes and I'll show you what you end up with. So go ahead and do Elastic. Okay. All right, 1 second while that is coming up. Oops. My is coming up.
I get this error that elastic agent command not found. Am I supposed to install something first?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Did we miss? Oh, you might miss this step here. So go back to the lab 2 and download Elastic Agent.
Okay, I did that.
Okay, go ahead and are you on a Mac or Windows?
I'm on Linux.
Oh, you're on Linux. Oh, hold on.
But I have Elastic Agent 791.
Perfect. Give me 1 sec. Let me get you the directions for Linux. I was not anticipating that.
There are Linux instructions on this add agent.
Yes. So give you 1 second. Let me show you where you're supposed to go. So there is your Linux instruction. Let me go paste it there. So Linux instructions are here. Let me. So you are a little different. Sorry, I only have Mac and Windows. I did not think so. Anyone would be so hardcore.
Whoa. Would you post that link? Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes, I just post that link. So go ahead and go to that link and go ahead and just do a curl so you get the correct agent as well as the targz command. So go ahead and cd into your agent directory. And what then?
Dictionary, you draw pictures.
Goodness, this is like serious. Okay, let's go back to Mac, which is a little bit more up my alley. All right, so here we go. Couple commands to run. And let me get my up and running. Yes. Okay, let's see. All right, so I'm going to go run my agent. There we go. I got my one, number 2. One.
Other way. Adi.
Yes. So it's when you enrolling the agent is going to come up and ask you yes or no. Say yes, please. And then it will say successfully enroll your agent. Then all you have to do is do the Elastic Agent run, then you're good to go. Oh, no, Fedora. Okay. Let's see what I need to run with sudo. Really? Okay. All right. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see what are we doing. How are we doing here? It's oops. All right. I have, I understand it's 5:30, so we're almost there. It looks like my agent is up and running. Did everybody get there? Sweet. Okay, so if you got there, let's go ahead and take a look at our dashboard for Nginx. Oops, this is the wrong dashboard. I have to go back to. Go ahead and go to your dashboard section. You should see logs, Nginx, overview, ECS. Let's go ahead and click on that. It will not be the last 7 days. These data are very old. So let's go ahead and switch those to last 1 year. I think, no, maybe last 2 years. My goodness, it's been that long ago. So let's do 2 years. Oh dear, okay. Oh, it is last 2 years. Okay, perfect. So there we go. We got some data and we got our map, handy dandy map, where all of my requests are coming from. The response code I have returned. Hold on, it's getting there. All right, we can zoom in a little bit more. Lovely. Here we go. So these are Nginx dashboard. And the operating system breaks down. That's, yeah. Okay, so there's the browser breakdown. That is, and then I could go back and there should be a couple more dashboard created for you. For example, one of them will be a metric system. That is essentially your own, what date? Oh, I'm sorry, do last 2 years. 2 years. So you could go over to the Nginx overview. I believe it's from the data is from 2018. So you could click on the, instead of doing the quick view, you could do last 2 years and apply. And that should do it. So, does everybody see the log data? Okay. And once you see the log data, go ahead and go back to the dashboard. I want you to show you your own host data as well. So we're collecting your host metric as well. So you could go ahead and just click on host overview. And you can tell, oops, this is not, let's do, change the date to last 15 minutes when you do that. Refresh it because these are real-time process that's coming through. All right, so you can see this is my little MacBook. My CPU is going crazy. My memory usage is pretty high because I'm running Zoom and I'm sharing my screen. My slot is out of control here, and then my network. So this is how my Mac is doing. And you can see the Chrome is eating up most of my memories. And Zoom is even worse, eating up almost my CPUs. Zoom is number 2, Chrome is number 1. All right. So that's all I got. Any questions? Oh, if you want to just stop collecting the metric, just go ahead and kill your agent in the background. That should be it. All right. If I lost anybody, just post your questions in the chat or just ask them now. I'll hang around for 10 minutes or so. I have a disk error. Oh God, what does that mean? And if you want, go ahead and, you could poke around a little bit as well. So the trial instance should be up and running for about 2 weeks or so. So you could have a little time to play around a little bit. I would recommend, play around with the application monitoring a bit. It's another one of my passion here. So you can actually have the setup instruction depending on the language you'll be using. It has pretty straightforward setup instructions. My favorite is like, I think Java is like the easiest. All you needed to do is download the agent and then there you go. That's it. Okay. How would I compare Elastic Observability versus TIC? Okay, the influx folks. Influx is been around for a bit and is mostly just for time series metric data. Mostly that's where I see it from. It doesn't have the APM component to it. And as far as observability goes, I feel like the influx folks has a bit of an incomplete picture because you're not encompassing the logs, APM, and metric. Influx is mostly just a metric store. So you're missing, and uptime, obviously. So you're missing a couple pillars out of the observability, which is all the rage these days, which is, you're not getting a complete picture. And the good thing with the Elastic Stack is the fact that you are storing all of the pillars of your observability into a single data store, using a single data stack. So you could you are using the Elastic Common Schema. So if I want to go from my APM data to the log data, from my metric data to my log data, that just easily as a click. Let me see if I have a demo I can show you here. Hold on, let me see my own deployment here. So I have an APM demo here, so I'll just show you how easy it is to go from your APM to your log data. Ooh, that's not good. I think I have logged myself out in my own, so this is state 8 monitoring. Let's see if this will let me in. And also that because of, because we are collecting all of the data into a single data store, it just makes life so much easier. Let me see if I have any APM data here. Let's see what maybe it is, I think. Here we go. Yeah, I do. So I could go from the front end. So this is the Elastic APM. Well, these are some of my transactions. I can drill down to them. Let's see if I can drill into the logs here. So you can see that I could actually drill into the logs from here, drill in from the metrics here, and then I could also drill in from the trace log from here as well. I think this is the front end. I don't know how much logs I have from the front end. Let's see if I have a Java service and I'll be able to show you. Oh wait, this is for Jaeger. Oh, never mind. This is a Jaeger. I was not collecting log for the Jaeger, but you can see that. Let me see if I can do this. You have a different demo here that you can actually drill from your APM to trace. Oh, this is so frustrating. Oh, here it is. There we go. And also that, yeah, Influx is just missing a lot of the pillars, unfortunately. No problem. Let me know if you have any other questions so I could actually take a services here and I can show you that how easy it is to drill into from my traces to my logs. Let's pick one that's really long. Go new hot logs. No, this is all deployed on Kubernetes. So collecting logs on Kubernetes is sometimes could be a bit of a pain. With the Elastic FileB, it's super easy. As you can see that I have all of the logs from my service that has been collected into one place that actually has the at service. These are all my application logs right here. The coolest thing is that you could actually do searches on these things and do things like rand heap. Yeah, so you can see that I have some really, well, that's not good. That's really bad. Yeah, so you can see that you got the Kubernetes pod ID and then whatever information you're interested in, just taking full advantage of the Elastic search capability. All right. Any other questions I can answer? Okie. Where did I get this recording? Oh, I don't know. Can Catherine comment out where you will have the recordings available, or
Yeah, we will. Yeah, once the meeting is over, we'll get a recording from the cloud and we'll share with Phoebe and I guess Phoebe will upload to YouTube.
Okay, perfect. All right. Any other questions I can answer? Ready. All right. If you also have questions or any questions about Elasticsearch, the Elastic Stack, observability, or search, I wouldn't say security. I'm okay, but not great. So just let me know. I'll be happy to follow up.
I definitely want to make a quick shout out to if you review the links in the chat that have been thrown in the chat, there was one for our Discuss forum. That's a great place to add technical questions that you might have as you're working with this stuff, and there's probably a good chance that somebody's encountered the same thing that you're encountering, and so Discuss is a great resource. So definitely grab that link and visit the forum. And we also have a community Slack channel or workspace, and there are channels within the workspace for every different type of Elastic solution. So that link is in this chat as well. And I definitely recommend that you join because it's a great place to connect with other people who are using Elastic.
Okay, thank you so much for attending.
Thank you so much for having us, Catherine. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Phoebe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great night.